Good evening, Ashwini ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening,
evening, ma'am.
ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
I would request everyone to please switch off your otters and switch on your cameras.
Good evening, everyone. Jai
Good
Hind.
evening, ma'am. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, ma'am.
Good evening
Thank
and
you
Jai
so
Hind,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you, Sucheta ma'am, Shonali ma'am, Kavita ma'am, for switching on your cameras.
Jai Hind, ma'am. Jai Hind, everyone.
Jai Hind, everyone.
Jai Hind, Pooja ma'am, Varsha ma'am, Prajakta ma'am, Sushmita ma'am. After a long time, I'm seeing you, Sushmita ma'am.
I attend, ma'am, all. And
Yeah, you
still I'm
attend,
not
but your
getting the
camera is
mails.
always off, na? That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, still I'm not getting the mails for this CCF. I asked from someone else.
Okay. Still, you are facing the same issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, there are few other teachers also who needs to be registered with the list in which you send the CC Fridays and other things. I have already mailed
Okay.
you.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just check it and get it
One
done.
is Carol ma'am, the Kirti ma'am.
Carol, ma'am, I guess I had added.
Kirti ma'am and Achal Sharma ma'am. Kirti Agrawal.
Okay.
Jai Hind,
Okay.
everyone.
Jai Hind, everyone.
Jai Hind, Munmun ma'am, Bhumika ma'am, Swati ma'am. So I guess it's
Good evening,
already
ma'am.
115 participants right now with us. And respecting to the time, I guess we should start the session, today's session on time so that we can complete the session on time. Yes, Munmun ma'am.
Good evening, Ashwini ma'am. I think a lot of otters are also there, so I don't think this is the right count of people who have joined in.
Just
I
a
can
sec,
see a
just
lot
a
of
sec.
otters also there,
Okay,
so
okay.
I suggest a minute or so we can wait. We've dropped messages in the class groups, so if we
Okay.
can wait for a minute or so, yeah. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll remove the order also till that time. Teachers, I request you to please turn off your note takers. Na? There are a lot of note takers here. If you can just remove those, your own note taker. It will be helpful for us. All right, it's 5:05. With your permission, Munmun ma'am, Shilpa ma'am, should we start today's session?
Yes, ma'am. Now let's start begin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Very good evening and welcome to the 104th episode of CC Friday. I'm so
Good,
glad.
good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Sujata ma'am. I'm so glad that such a number of teachers are attending it, and I request most of you to please switch on your cameras because during the session, it will be very it will be an interactive session. It will be helpful for the presenter also to interact with you all. Quickly, as you can see the ground rules on the screen, I'll just read it out quickly for you all. Be attentive throughout the session. Keep your camera on whenever possible. At the end of the session, you will be asked a couple of questions through feedback form. So be attentive throughout the session. Credits will be given on the basis of feedback form only. You can ask the questions through Q&A or after the presentation also will be giving you time to ask questions. You can ask anonymously also. And yes, this session is not compulsory for all, but yes, the topic is very interesting and I hope a lot of takeaways will be there from today's session. Moving ahead, I request Pooja ma'am to please take over and start the session. Over to you, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. And I'm also thankful to all the teachers who have joined in. I wish a very good evening to Shilpa ma'am and Munmun ma'am who found time to join. So, bless me. And it's a privilege that I am getting this opportunity to present. Once my screen is there, please let me know if it is visible or it's not visible. Just give me a moment.
Sure, ma'am.
Just a moment, ma'am.
Yes, your screen is visible, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. On slide number 1. Just a second.
Pooja ma'am, do you need help? I can present for you.
No. Thank you so much, ma'am, for asking. I hope the screen is visible now.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much for responding. Like Ashwini ma'am has already mentioned, that it is actually a privilege and to get an opportunity to meet and communicate with so many teachers who are running parallel with us. And being a part of an institution, there are very many challenges which we encounter while we are working. One of, and solutions these days could be really damaging. So if we have a solution which is acceptable and which could later on become a norm, that wherever or whenever we are stuck, we go back to the pages wherein we have written down that in this situation we do this, in this situation we do this, it becomes very easy. So such tool is possibility framework. Possibility framework, if we detach these two words, then possibility means different ways of handling a situation, and framework are the guidelines. So if we combine them back again, so it is the guidelines which help us handle a situation in very different ways. So when I was told that I have to present on this particular topic on possibility framework, so there were two things which were given to us. One is the administrative possibility, and another one was academic possibility. For administrative possibility, I chose school discipline, as we have had a very challenging time when it comes to school discipline lately in the recent past, and recent past spanning for, let us say, over a year. Now, why we have taken this, that we'll understand once we are through this presentation. The possibility framework, like I've already quoted, it gives us a guideline. I hope the screen is visible and not this notification. Thank you. So possibility framework tells us that each and every situation can be handled in a way if we follow the guidelines. Now, in order to handle the situation, we need to begin with the problem with positive mindset. Followed by, we need to find the outline the problem. We have outlined the problem. Half the problem is solved already. Followed by listing its causes, exploring different possibilities that how to go about it, and taking action, seeking help in need, reflecting, and adjusting. Favorite. I to
I'm sorry, but I guess we were not audible. Is it? Yeah. There is a network
Yes,
glitch,
ma'am,
ma'am.
even I am unable to hear properly.
Pooja ma'am, you are not audible to us. The voice is totally breaking. You just refresh and join in again.
Yes, I agree, Sangeeta ma'am, what Sangeeta ma'am is sharing. If someone else can present, if anybody from the team has the presentation, please share your screen so that she gets support with the bandwidth.
Pooja ma'am, I can present. Should I present that? You can just stop presenting and you can talk about it. I'm afraid whether she will be able to talk also.
I think there is a network issue. She has moved out and she'll log in. She's there now. Pooja ma'am, can you hear
Pooja
us?
ma'am, should I present for you?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead and present. I'm there.
I'll present. I'll present, yeah.
Pooja ma'am, you can keep your camera off also to get the bandwidth.
Sure, ma'am.
It will help you.
Is it there? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Right.
Ma'am, please help me with this. Am I audible now?
Yes,
Or else I'll log in my
Yes.
phone.
Yes, Pooja ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so, ma'am, I want the next. The next one. Okay, yeah, teachers. So I was asking that there are three numbers you can see dancing on the screen. Can you please help us understand what those numbers could actually signify? The numbers are 21 plus, 3132 plus, and 200 plus. Kindly unmute yourself.
Is it the increasing strength of the students?
Absolutely. But which one is the increasing strength?
So I think it is 3132.
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
the
You're right, ma'am. You're absolutely right. 3132 is the increasing strength of the students in DPS Varanasi. Can somebody else help with the other two bars of numbers?
That is
Strength.
yeah, Pooja ma'am. It
Uh,
is 21 years and 200,
Congratulations, right answer.
200 plus staff, teachers.
Absolutely, thank you. Yes, very rightly pointed out. 21 plus is DPS Varanasi will be completing in 2 months. Age of DPS Varanasi would be 22 years. We have an ever increasing strength of students, which is 3,132, and teaching faculty is 200 in number. Now, these numbers are such beautiful numbers, and this slide is my favorite slide because you will not be able to differentiate who's a teacher and who's a student. This is one of our MF Hall, and the children have gathered on the occasion of celebration of the launching of Chandrayaan 3. And this is just 1/3 of the total strength of the school. Now imagine if the entire school, the entire strength would come up at one place, will it be manageable? So, along with strength, this is also our challenge. Ma'am, shall we go to the next slide? No, previous one, previous one, previous one, previous one. Seva slide. So teachers, when we have such good strength of children, it takes a lot of efforts to instill in them all the 21st century skills, to tell them that they are here, they are privileged, they are getting education in these fields, and whatever they imbibe, they ensure that they give it back to the society. We did our best. We hold seva. Seva means they feed the supporting staff in the school. Then Robin Hood Army, we collect the used products, let us say toys, stationery, and other things which children do not need anymore, which are in good condition. We donate them to the nearby orphanages. Now, all these efforts, they tell our children that even though they may be having all the facilities at home, but there are very many people who do not have them. So once they get in touch with all these activities, they are filled with a sense of responsibility, compassion, sensibility, and tolerance. What they learn in school today, they implement and they show the world the same thing. Munmun ma'am, can we go to the next slide? There we go. So what they have learned in school, now they are giving back to the society. These four are our very own alumni who have been working at different various other places. And there are many teachers who have taught them, and they have made us proud. Now, DPS Varanasi has a legacy of producing such children. Given the strength, given the training that teachers have been undergoing. Now, this is a story which took place before the pandemic. Something, teachers, something changed when these children returned after the pandemic. Ma'am, can we have the next slide? Munmun? Yes. So after the pandemic, when all the children came back to school, there were very many incidences wherein bullying was very common, verbal abuse, manhandling, teasing, and vandalism. We received complaint from the support staff. We received complaint from the teachers, from the parents, and from many other stakeholders in the school. Now, given the fact, we started identifying incidences of vandalism in the washroom, vandalism inside the classrooms. We see school property being destructed and destroyed. They're having very small incidences. We started pondering upon what could be the reason. So we decided, let us handle this situation in a positive mindset, wherein we will allow these children, or in case if there is any case of them being abused at home, or understanding what is going on in the background, so that we could help them in case help is needed and handle the situation, because it was getting on the nerve, the indisciplined cases. Ma'am, can we have the next slide? Once we identified that there are many things which are happening, we understood the causes of them. First one was during the pandemic, when the children were seated at home, they were exposed to unnecessary content, they were exposed to social media, the family structure wherein the parents, the relatives, they use unfiltered language, wherein they are exposed to foul language and abusive language. Then the friend circle, their friends go around, show them things, talk them in a way which is not decent for a child who is going to school. The fast fashion culture, the rise in the these people who are there on Instagram, on YouTube, and our children, they follow them really badly. So given the rise in all these things, we understood that what's going on in the mind. But despite identifying the problem, approaching the problem, and listing out the causes of the problem, we also need to handle it. Can we have the next slide? We started to ponder upon the possibilities, what possible action could be taken. There have been incidences where wash basins had been broken in the toilets, the tables had been really broken up, chairs broken up. So how do we handle such situations? We first talk to the child, the reason behind this kind of unruly behavior. If required, we need to send the child to the counselor. If that helps, well and good. If not, we call the parent and tell the parent that your ward has done such and such behavior, and we demand an explanation. If that does not satisfy or that does not tell us the validity of his action, we suspend, and eventually we think of rusticating the child. Everything in the best interest of the school as well as of the child. So these are the possibilities which we explored. Depending upon the intensity of the act which the child has done, we decide. For example, if it is just a verbal spat between two children, we just talk of the matter. If it's a continuous bullying, the child is continuously bullying the juniors, misbehaving in the bus bay, misbehaving in the bus, we try to counsel the child. Because as an institution, as an educational institution, it is our continuous endeavor to do what is best suited for the child. We call the parent, we ensure that whatever the child is doing in school is communicated transparently to the with the parent. If need be, if we feel that the child will not be able to improve in the school premises, we suspend the child for some time, and the child stays at home, reflects, and then gets back. If the situation worsens, then we will move on to the next step. Next slide. Now, when we started taking matters in our hand and nothing then worked out, there were even cases where there were few children who were not ready. The parents were not ready to accept that such and such thing my child has done, cases of vandalism, cases of bullying. We actually went on to create the files of the students who were unruly and very rowdy. We went on to create the file. We went on to keep a record of those children. We had a brainstorming sessions with the parent, with the management, with the teachers, and with the students. It was a lot of a file making procedure wherein we were trying to dig out and try to understand that if we go ahead and terminate the admission of the child, will it be in the favor of the child? Will it be in the favor of the institution? Because we as an institution have a accountability towards a society. So it is important that as an institution we uphold the ethos and the values for which we stand. We stand for children whose photos I just show you. We do not stand for any behavior wherein one child is being bullied, a child is not getting an environment where he could grow properly. So in the past year, there were many parents who were called and who were told that your ward would be suspended, and he will sit home, would reflect, and would join us back again for writing his exams. Despite doing this, there were very many students on whom the suspension thing did not work. Now, when suspension does not work on somebody, what is the other option that we are left with? So we decided that we need to extend our hands and seek help from the management. Now, management would not go ahead and blindly give us the permission. We need to produce the records. We produce the records. We produced that we have our do's and don'ts list in every class. We produced that we have made a list of complaints which were filed against these students by the teachers, by the other parents. So all these things were brainstormed, all these things were discussed upon, and the children who were miscreants, who had made a mess and played a mayhem in the school ambience, they were all, their admission was terminated, they were sent back home. And once they were sent back home, Munmun ma'am, can we have the next slide, please? Once those children were sent back home, we sent a very loud and clear message in the entire Varanasi city that DPS Varanasi stands for some ethos and values. We condemn bullying and we condemn vandalism. Which is why, ma'am, next slide, please. Now, coming to the second last part of it, we understood that we need to be very strong when it comes to formulation of rules and policies. After all these things were done, after a very strong message was passed on in the entire school and around it, that we are not entertaining any bully in our school, we made certain changes in the school rules. We also made Almanac such an important tool that nobody would be able to take it for a ride. Whatever, even smallest of the dispute, slightest of the argument has to be written down via a one-liner note in the Almanac, so that we have a record of what the child has been doing and how we can, in the later future, handle the matters. Then the class registers, which we keep in the classrooms for the teachers to sign, they need to be treated as such important documents that if need be, we are able to verify what the candidate, what the child is saying with what is written in the class register. EduNext updates are a mandate. Whenever anything happens, any verbal spat, dispute, we quickly and promptly update the parent about anything that has happened via EduNext, and things sheets are filled up. It so happened in the past 1 year that there were many cases wherein the child did everything. They did not leave any stone unturned to turn the story around, that it is the school which is not in my favor, it is the children who are not in my favor. So we had to produce all the records, right from EduNext to the school register to the Almanac to EduNext updates. And when we had everything, all the papers on the principal's table, then the child and the parent, they kept their mouth closed. Otherwise, it was becoming very difficult for us. The previous year was a very difficult and a testing year in terms of ensuring that we are smoothly able to conduct the teaching and learning process, and the ambience is free of any bully. The children who come here, they come with a free mind and a free soul. So after everything done, after all the actions taken, when we reflected, we ensured that whatever documents we have, documentation has to be very, very proper, and so that we are able to produce it as a means of a verifiable document. Ma'am, can we have the next slide? Now, the last step of possibility framework is celebrating the success. Being an educational institution, how we have celebrated success by implementing more vehemently the best practices which we have. Earlier also these practices were there in place. Now we are very staunch and very strict with them. Uniform checking is a must early in the morning. Ma'am, next slide, please. Now, if anyone who's found not in the school uniform, like you can see in the slide, we very simply ensure that they take out their almanacs, we write a note, and the child gets assigned. We also simultaneously pose the same thing on EduNext, so that we as an institution and the parent as a stakeholder are on the same page that these things are happening, and let you also be informed about it. Ma'am, next slide. Now, in order to ensure that there is no overcrowding around the water points and there's no overcrowding in the outside the washrooms, we have issued excuse passes to every class. We have only 2 excuse passes, one for girls and one for boys. So at a time, there will be only 2 children who would be out of any class, not the entire class roaming around and about the water point and the washroom. Ma'am, next slide. We have floor duty teachers, canteen duty teachers, we have recess duty teachers. Now, the sole job of these teachers is to ensure that even if there is a lot of movement during switching of the classes, during sports classes, during movement from classroom to computer lab, that movement is streamlined. There's a way children in school move, and that way has to be ensured, is actually ensured by the teacher who is at that time floor duty. Now, floor duty, we have a dedicated timetable wherein we have all those teachers who are free would be doing floor duty on first, second, and the ground floor. So this is how we ensure that till the time we are in school, all of us are just busy ensuring that no one runs here and there, and there is no mess and there is no chaos created. And next slide. Now, like I mentioned earlier, possibility framework we first implemented on handling our discipline issues, which after expelling 7 to 8 students from the school, we were able to send a strong message that we are anti-bully school and we will not tolerate any kind of indiscipline. So possibility framework helped us in streamlining the way we have been handling this. Now moving on to the academic possibilities, which we again had with the help of possibility framework. The second challenge in academics was implementing the practices of Riverside Learning Center. Ma'am, next slide. When I talk about implementing the changes of Riverside Learning Center, you see, we are a school wherein here in Varanasi, there is lots and lots of competition in terms of giving toppers of NEET, in terms of giving toppers of JEE. So till now, before getting in touch with Riverside, and this was implemented for the first time. We were introduced for the first time that yes, we would be doing Samurja, we would be doing Agenda, board protocol, and blah, blah, blah. So with any minor or major change comes a lot of doubt, a lot of confusion and ambiguity, because, you know, we have a habit of overthinking. So we were somehow not able to balance out the rigor with which we actually teach here, which is required to be a topper in NEET and JEE, and the infusion of Riverside learnings in that. So we were initially a little bit confused. How shall we go about it? Because the timetable are designed in a fashion that we don't even leave our children for 5 to 10 minutes. But after some time, it actually came into play in our school. Then after a lot of training, then after handling the students, we understood that we can't even go ahead without the engaging learning strategies, without all these things, because everybody would be doing the same thing in the near future. Now, here in Varanasi, we have been thriving academically. But when later on, we had our own challenges, which made us even more difficult to implement. Ma'am, next slide. Those challenges, the biggest challenge was strength of the students. Like I showed you in the beginning, the student strength is something which need to be planned and handled in a very meticulous way. Then our belief system, going right from a academically thriving school to a school wherein we have to infuse the practices of Samurja and Confab and whatnot. Then juggling between academic rigor, then where would we get the training? Alongside, we had the resources which are shared. For example, sports ground, we have MF hall, one common MF hall, we have one common conference hall. So how shall we go about it? How shall we implement this? If I want to take my class out for any outdoor activity, we have just one sports ground, one MF hall. How to go about it? But then eventually, as we jumped into it with a positive mindset, now we have to do it, that means we have to do it. Ma'am, next slide please. So we found out that along with the challenges comes the solution. And the solutions, the previous one, solutions were, we received lots and lots of training and mentorship. While on our stay back days, we always used to have meetings and training sessions on how to go about it. We received a lot of help from our co-teachers. For example, we would enter into their classrooms and we would see how are they setting relevance, how is actually relevance set, what are we expected to do in that. Then sharing best practices in CCF. For example, in the recent past, we have shared very many best practices in CCF. What is shared from Lava Nagpur is very well imbibed and very well taken up in Varanasi as well. Same from Nasik and same from Hinjawadi. And last is practice, practice, and practice. We have been practicing it for such a long time now that I can say that we are now in a thriving position of implementing the practices. Ma'am, next slide. Now, these are few of the glimpses of the training sessions which we have had in the past 2 years and which helped us in building our confidence on how to go about it. And next one as well. Ma'am, next one. This is one of the Samuja sessions taken by ma'am, and all of us got the opportunity to be there, and we understood that strength is just a number, and it doesn't matter if you have the spirit of going ahead and jumping into the crowd of the students. Next one, ma'am. Okay, like I've also already mentioned, we have shared resources. This is FDFW, which is one of the practices of Riverside. We implemented it, even though resources are shared, but we managed with the dedicated timetable which we have, thanks to the timetable in charges we have in school. Next slide, ma'am. These are some of the best practices of Saumitra. Next one, ma'am.
Can we quickly go through? We are at 5:40 and we have national team yet to present.
Sure, ma'am. This is the board protocol. And now the last one. Yeah, and Samurja. So all these which we saw on the screen are the practices of Riverside. Initially, they were a Herculean task for us, but now we are very comfortable with them. I think the next one is the last slide. Thank you so much, everyone. Apologies for the technical glitches.
Thank you. Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Munmun ma'am, for presenting your screen. Can we quickly move to Nashik team?
Yes, ma'am.
Ashwini ma'am, are you presenting a screen?
Just a sec.
Swati ma'am, you can present otherwise. So till the time the presentation is coming in. So Pooja ma'am, thank you so much. I think we all are sailing in the same boat. Here also we are facing the same challenges and we are using possibility framework to solve those.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Swati ma'am has presented now. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Swati ma'am. Jai Hind, everyone. I'm Jayashree Patil from DPS Nasik. I'm the learning leader for the Samarpan wing. So today I'm very excited to introduce the possibility framework, which is a strategic approach aimed to fostering growth and creating a thriving learning environment at DPS Nasik. Let's explore how we can transform challenges into opportunities and achieve the excellence together. As you can see on the screen, to set the today's tone for our discussion in this CC Friday, let's reflect on the tone which is there in front of you, which is an inspiring quote. The only way to achieve impossible is to believe that it is possible. And this mindset is the cornerstone of our journey towards unlocking the potential within our students, educators, and community. Next slide, Swatima. Now here comes our vision, mission, and the motto. So our vision is to nurture lifelong learners with a success mindset, rooted in Indian culture and values. Our mission is which emphasizes collaborating among teachers, thriving learners, and proud parents, guided by our motto, which is service before self. We aim to instill competence, character, and responsibility in every learner at DPS Nasik. Now let's just reflect on the possibility framework, which is very easy. There are total 5 to 6 steps which we can take to find out the solution for any of the challenge which we are facing. As you can see on the screen, the first step comes is the positive start. For any challenge which we are finding out the solution, first we need to start with a positive this thing. Then we have to think and link it, idea storm, then take action, reflect, and celebrate learning. This is how this possibility framework works. Next, ma'am. So this possibility framework is a dynamic approach to nurturing students' growth and fostering thriving educational environment. It addresses key concerns collaboratively and effectively, paving the way for success across diverse domains. Now here comes our first challenge, which is addressing key concerns. So collaboration is the key, overcoming challenges. As saying goes, in collaboration, success will abide. Through this framework, we aim to tackle our issues which we are facing at our school campus and transforming them into a very positive school learning environment. Now, as we have seen the positive possibility framework, the first part of it comes in identifying the challenges what we are facing at our campuses. So here, some of the critical challenges which we face include disrespectful behavior, which Pooja ma'am has just now explained. So I'll not take much time in talking about it. So we face some challenges which includes disrespectful behavior and indiscipline, both of which we all understand that it causes the environment, and addressing this effectively is crucial for a harmonious and productive school culture. So with the possibility framework, the next step comes is root cause analysis. So these are some different, when we started finding out what is the root for this. So these are some steps which we came across: learning difficulties and disabilities, emotional and mental health challenge, lack of sleep, nutrition and physical activity, family conflict, lack of structure at home or stress, pressure to conform and bullying and social conflict. So these are some root causes which we analyze. And to address these challenges, we must first understand their root cause. Factors such as learning difficulties which the child is facing, mental health challenge, family stress, as we have discussed, then social conflicts, and contribute to the all these, we all know all this contributes to the behavioral issues and indiscipline. Now, after identifying the root causes, it comes brainstorming the solutions. So as you can see in the picture, we had some sessions wherein the teacher community was involved. There was a brainstorming session for the solutions with the children also. So our solution which we are taking will focus on all 3 pillars: building a positive school culture. Ma'am, next slide. Yes. So brainstorming ideas and solutions, which includes all this which we can see here: build a positive school culture, then social emotional learning, involving stakeholders, where all the stakeholders need to be there, taken into consideration before we are coming to the solution. So these are some steps which we have taken. So our solutions which we are taking will refer to all these 3 parameters which are there on the screen. Ma'am, next slide. Here you can see some glimpses where we are trying to build a positive school culture, wherein student voice is given first. It is very, very important that we give voice and choice to the students. So to address that, we started with anonymous reporting, wherein that complaint box which was set up in the school, where the children started putting their chits with anonymously. Then we had a strong relationship with them, wherein it was not discussed why this challenge has come and how it has come or who has sent it. So we started first having a very good relationship with them, and then identifying and solving the issues which they are putting into the concern box. Next, ma'am. As we said, this is my previous slide. This is a important part of our school vision and mission, that we want to have a growth mindset, which is a success mindset in every learner. So we promote that, so that all these issues which we are talking about in discipline, in disrespectful behavior, is tackled. Next one, ma'am. So these are some glimpses where we can see anonymous reporting, then building strong relationship. These are some initiatives and action after brainstorming which we have taken care. There is a promote growth mindset. So at DPS Nasik, we give a growth mindset badge to students who have shown a growth in their academics, discipline, and all other areas of their development. So we give them a badge called as growth mindset. There is a student who has an world mental calculation was there. So he was there, and he earned the certificate and medal also. So he is Aryan Shukla. We all know him. Next, ma'am. Yes. So this is under social emotional learning. Now we used some Samurja sessions where the social emotional learning was taken care. So this is how we are giving respect. We are having respectful interaction with our students. We are engaging classroom dynamics and positive language and communication. So this is something which is important, which again helps for social emotional learning, as well as building a good relationship, and automatically the issues which we are facing are tackled through this. Yes, ma'am. Next. Yes, it's very, very important that we involve all the stakeholders when we are taking the solutions into consideration. And a possibility framework also says that all the stakeholders must be involved when we are finding out the solution, when we are brainstorming, ideating, all these steps. Every stakeholder plays an important role. So here you can see some meaningful implementations which are done. Student council is there, then peer mentorship, which we have taken care here at DPS Nasik. Next, ma'am. Yes, this is again a part of involving stakeholder and building a good relationship with the students. So here also, when we were talking about the indiscipline, so the first step was taken. First warning which is given to the student is a verbal notice, which we used to give. Then second warning, if it is a written notice or the parent involvement is required, if we are giving second notice to the children, then it is notified to the parents, and we are giving it in a written form, either through the EduNext or the Almanac, or through an email. So there the parent involvement is necessary. Then third step, when we are giving third warning, then it is escalation or disciplinary action as per the indiscipline which we have observed. So these are some ways through which we try to implement this possibility framework and work towards this indiscipline and disrespectful behavior. Yes, ma'am. Yes, this is again, as we have seen this in under the stakeholder, counselor also plays a very, very important role. So there are meaningful and interactions which are happening with the children one-on-one, whenever it is required in a group. So the counselor always plays a very, very important role. So here, some glimpses of that which we have done here at DPS Nasik. There is a parent counseling also which is done at some places where parent like involvement is required. So she does one-on-one parent counseling sessions also with students, with teachers, and with parents also. So this is where the parents are involved. Now, ma'am, previous slide. Here are some glimpses where we have meaningfully used the Samurja activities to build good relationship and tackle our problem. Ma'am, previous slide. Yeah, and okay. Go to the next one. Yes, it's done, because it was a similar kind of thing. So I started taking it. Ma'am, previous one. Collaboration with the parents. Yeah. So here you can see the collaboration with the parents, which is happening. Every teacher, every class teacher, subject teacher is taking care of it. And we all know that collaboration with parents is essential for reinforcing the positive behavior. And regular updates and the parent-teacher meetings ensures that open communication and effective problem solving is happening. And with this possibility framework, which empowers us to transform these challenges into opportunities and fostering a safe and respectful and inclusive space for every learner to grow. So, through this framework, we are not just addressing challenges, but transforming them into the opportunities for success. And I think together we could build a school culture rooted in values, innovation, and resilience. So, with that, I would like to thank you all for your attention and engagement. It's now my pleasure to hand over it to Swati ma'am, who will guide us through the next part of the presentation. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jayashree ma'am. When we are talking about the possibility framework, the first challenge was discipline, and the second is, of course, academic excellence. When we talk about these two things, they go hand in hand. So, when we were dealing with academic concerns, we started looking for what outcomes we are looking for and how to enhance them. The first thing that we use the exam data dashboard and we started working on that, finding out the students where we need to focus. And there were four things which we want to achieve. The first thing that we need to track the attendance and make it sure that the students are attending regularly, especially those one who need extra help. Then providing some extra material to engage them in home study activities with collaboration with the parents. Acceleration sessions were made in a different way. They were timetabled properly, and syllabus and homework tracking was being done. When we go further to that, we can see that each and every teacher was being asked to create their own acceleration grade wise, section wise sheet where they are able to handhold the students and measure their improvement, because the data speaks very clearly, are we proceeding in the right direction or we need to work a little more. So we were looking for the strategies. We were also collecting the material, making it very clear that it should be shared in a time with the students. And there was the goal setting, which is done by each and every educator. When we go further with this, we decided that the best solution is time management. First, if we manage the time properly and engage students positively, we can address both the concern, discipline as well as academic. So we decided to have the proxy utilized in a better manner. So we were working on the companion books for each subject, where we are going to have a lot many worksheets from the previous year examinations, which are compiled all together and provided during the proxy period to the students. Of course, the benefits and impact are in front of you. When we talk about it, it reinforces the exam preparation. More practice had happened. It was encouraging students to go for self directed learning. Self motivation is the best thing which has been given through the companion books. And when we are talking about the impact, students started feeling confident and they started feeling the strength within them that, okay, I am now going proceeding further with the subject knowledge and the skills are also improving. This also helped to engage them in a very positive manner. When we go further, we need to see that it is all in our mind. If we want to grow, we can. So the next possibility on which we worked, that we started looking into the wellness and engagement by fostering a balanced environment among the student. So the assemblies were being concised and they were shortened, focusing on the key updates and rotating assembly duties to maintain student engagement. Then there was a weekend balance among the students' work. We provided alternate Saturday as a holiday to balance academic and personal time for promoting student well-being. The Anapana schedule was being adjusted in a way that it should provide the meditation and at the same time it should be engaging students for their academic priorities. Especially in the senior grade, we did this. And when we are talking about results, it's the time to celebrate that we can see the 10% improved attendance. The attendance tracker has shown us that there is an improvement. Again, the disruptions or the discipline matters or disengagement that was completely reduced, not at all, but 50% we are able to achieve now. So it can be seen that there is a decrease of 50% of all kind of disruption in the classroom, helping them to have better learning environment. And most important, the performance of emerging learner as per the dashboard data increased by 20%. So when we go further with this, of course, it is not possible without the help of our all stakeholders. So academic calendar was tweaked, redesign wherever needed. We were ready to make a change, and we taken the more time for academic periods, ensuring efficient time management. Then the schedule was being designed in a way that teachers' responsibilities were being rotated. So no one should feel that I am overloaded and the workload is too much for me. Further, emergency leave approvals, there was a clear policy was being made that no academic should hamper with the emergency leave of any educator. Then further, we tried for digital kind of documentation where the teacher feel a little relaxed because manual work was being lesser and they were able to work faster. When we are talking about celebrating the success, of course you can see the students coming up with the different competitions, going ahead in their studies and achieving day by day everything very properly. And the success was not only celebrated by the students, it was also celebrated by the teachers. Seeing our kids growing academically, behaving properly, nothing more happier, joyful than this. And of course, it is the possibility framework which brought us up to here. So when we talk about it, there were the unity fostering among the educators also, and there was a wonderful retreat which had happened. So when we are talking about the possibility framework, at last I will only tell one thing here, that it is not all about seeing what is impossible. It is focusing on when impossible is there, how I am making it possible. So it is all about finding out different ways, different solution. And if there is a problem, of course there is a solution. And that growth mindset is all because of this possibility framework. And we are really thankful that we got this tool and that helped us to achieve success, happiness, content, and joy in both the fields, discipline and academic as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jayashree ma'am, Swati ma'am. Anyone would like to share your views?
I would like to mention a small thing here, Ashwini ma'am. It may sound like a bullet train running further, but I felt that we are running short of time. So we should not take much time. That's why we try to wind up the things quickly. If there is anything which is required to be known more, of course, Jayashree ma'am and I, we always there to help out how the things proceeded and how the process went in detailing. So this was just kind of a glimpse which we had given over here. If there is anything, please feel free to add on, to come forward, help us out to make it better. So it's a great thing.
And Swati ma'am, I think we all are going through the same challenges, same things. We all are selling in the same boat.
Yes.
And when Pooja ma'am presented, I was like, this is also the same challenge which we are having here.
Yes.
So I just ran through it and I did not explain in detail because it is the similar kind of things which we are doing at both the campuses.
And one more thing highlighted, the people think alike, they go alike forward, and it is like all people, we are thinking in the same line. Nothing joyful than this, that we all are thinking for the same possibility, same solution, because we are going with the same growth mindset. Manisha ma'am raised her hand. I think she wanted to say something.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, good evening all. I just wanted to give a suggestion for the uniform thing that Pooja ma'am had mentioned in the earlier this thing, that we do face a lot of problem, and the same thing as Jayashree ma'am pointed out, that uniform is a problem when it comes to, a proper this thing. So what we have noticed as educators and, teachers around, that the hoodies that our children are wearing, actually, they are the cause of, concern, because they're not wearing it properly, they're not zipping it up, and they're just hanging around their shoulders. So what we could do is, like, we go back to our old school, wo jo sweaters hote the, either half sleeve wale ya full sleeve wale, which gives them a much smarter look. Because I think most of the teachers will agree that these hoodies that they wear gives them a very shabby look. So that was one suggestion, which in terms of uniform discipline, we could try to take that up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate that.
And this solution, Manisha ma'am gives every time when we discuss about the uniform challenge. So every time this is a topic of discussion in our this thing also. So we are also looking forward ki we change something so that there are no zip. We don't have to tell children to zip in, and it looks a proper school uniform.
Yeah. Even Geetali ma'am wants to share something.
Yeah.
Yes, Geetali ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. I totally agree with Manisha, ma'am. But looking at the latest trend, if we can have the same hoodie but without zip, they have to pull it over, a pullover kind of thing with the same material.
Great.
Anyways,
Thank
there
you,
are
Geeta
some
ma'am.
changes for the coming academic year in the uniform. So let's see how it works.
Yes, we can give the design.
Yes.
Yes. So anything you would like to share, Shilpa ma'am, Munmun ma'am, Aarti ma'am, from today's session, your views?
Yeah, thank you, Pooja, Miss Pooja, Jayashree, and Swati. It was wonderful listening to you. And I think for the possibility framework, the most important thing is the first positive approach. Like as an adult, I would say, because we are a group of team of educators where we are not just educating the child but also the families many a times, because we are the people who are actually going to uplift the society. I take it in that manner. And so the first thing we need to do is we always need to have a positive approach. And only when we are responding to some situation, we come up with different ideas, and we'll start looking for possibilities. But when we are reacting, I think we are closed. So I think first step as educators is we should always respond to a situation. Problems are never going to end, they will continue. It is how we approach them with the possibility framework. So I think it was wonderful today evening, like, discussing, and then we know that we can rather share ideas with each other when we have some problems or situations. That's great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Munmun ma'am, you want to share something?
I would just like to congratulate Jayashree ma'am, Swati ma'am, and Pooja ma'am. The presentation was something that we can all relate to, and I think since we are all four sister schools, we can understand what we are going through and how we find out possibilities with the possibility framework. So, thank you once again to bring it to our notice. And yes, together we will definitely implement the framework in such a manner that we always have a possibility to do things. Thank you.
Thank you, Munmun ma'am. Aarti ma'am?
Congratulations to all the presenters. I think this was, we were waiting for this session from last 1 month, that we have brought this framework and now we're trying to implement in and bring it to our practice also. So we were looking forward to see how we are trying to. So this is just our, I'll say, baby steps to bring this framework into our different processes and our approach basically. But at the same time, I could see that in very needful areas, this has been incorporated, and the team has tried to bring it into and use it to solve real challenges and that everybody is into. But at the same time, it tells that we are a team which knows that everything is possible, and we know that there is no such challenge that cannot be solved, and there is endless possibilities possible with the children that we have, and we are definitely working with the success mindset. Now with the core practices, it's an open question to everybody. So these were some system or practices in that we just saw that there were some problems or challenges that were for where the possibility framework was used. How do you think that we can make children use the possibility framework? This was where we used it. Now, how do you think in your classroom you can integrate it and the children could use this framework? Okay. Yes, Swati ma'am.
Ma'am, I would like to mention here, when we are talking about student taking onus about their studies, this is the first thing which was given to them during learning commitment. Students were complaining that, ma'am, there is no time because of the classes, or ma'am, I'm not able to focus, I'm not able to sit at a place. Then we just ask them, let's follow these steps and how we can work on this. So they came up with the wonderful timetable on their own, and somehow it has started working with them. So this is the
Do
very
we have
small area.
possibility framework visible in our corridors?
In 6
Yes.
to 8, we had given it the journal also, and at some places in corridor also we have kept it.
Okay. Okay.
And we have it in the classes also, ma'am. In our, we don't have LE, so in higher classes, it is there in the classes, the vision also and the possibility framework. We did it recently now.
Okay. Okay. Any other ideas that the team has? How can we make children use this framework? Sonal ma'am, you want to say something? Their goal setting, stepwise movement forward. Okay. Anything else? Are the children using it in their learning expedition? Or the community work that you do? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I could see
The ground
Pinal.
rule which they set,
Yes, Smita ma'am?
the ground rule which they set, sitting together, and they
Okay.
have to follow that.
Habits of mind.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back with this thought that how can we integrate this more and more in our classroom, making children also understand that every challenge, every problem can be solved and with the right kind of approach. And how can we weave in this into this framework into our classroom, into our learning expedition, so that their journey becomes very structured by going through different stages, and we do not miss out on celebrating their successes. That is really important, which is also in the as a stage, it is a part of our framework, wherein we the final stage, that is the celebrate learning and the reflection that is there. So you are making children start positively by positive start, then investigating the problem, then idea storm, where again not we leading the any situation, but making the children think about the various options available, various ways of solution, then taking the right action and reflecting and then celebrating the learning. So I would not extend much because I was very happy to see that Swati ma'am made sure that just a minute prior she finished it at 17:59 it was dot when she ended her presentation. I would not extend, just let's go back with this thought that how can we integrate this framework into our classroom. I can see Jayashree ma'am, her hand is raised. I will take
I will
Jayashree
also
ma'am.
not take much time, Aarti ma'am. I just wanted to share that, as you said, how children can use this possibility framework. And in 9 to 12, if you can see, when they approach to the board classes, mobile phone is their distraction, which actually they get distracted and they're not focused on their studies. So we had a session with them wherein we asked them what are some distractions which you have, and majority of them have given the answer that mobile phone. Then we gave them the option. They only came up with the solution. Some of them who cannot avoid mobile, so they made a timetable wherein they will be focusing more on studies and when they can use it day to day. Majority of them have submitted it to me, and to celebrate that, during the assemblies we have announced this is a particular student who submitted it. That motivated other children also to submit. And I have a cupboard here wherein there are mobile phones which are submitted by the students, and after the board examinations they will be taking it from me. So this is a success which we have got through the possibility framework, and we are trying to implement it in all small little challenges which we have.
Wonderful. So today you have received one form. You might have received one form as email. That is an application for, or I would say an open enrollment form for the Bookflix. That is a practice. We have a new team also along with us. So Bookflix is a small, I would say, reading club that we have, wherein we read and we share our learnings. And it's a fortnightly meet. Another form that you will receive today is a subject meeting feedback form. So we expect your feedback on the subject meets, and do share your ideas that how can subject meetings can be made more productive. Having said that, and especially mentioning, we are not changing the time, but the way it is conducted, that is something where we need your feedback, that how can we utilize that 1 hour in a better way, or how what all changes that you feel that needs to be made, or is it working well? So whatever is your feedback, do share that in the feedback form that will be administered by Ashwini ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Arti ma'am, I'm sorry. I know we all are in hurry, but I can't stop myself from sharing this. When we are talking about the possibility framework, I would like to congratulate the SDG cohort team, especially. When we are talking about all three, Shahnaz ma'am, Sunanda ma'am, and Sangeeta ma'am, I'm so sorry if I'm not able to mention.
I'll add people, Kajal ma'am, Sakshi
Okay.
Bansod ma'am.
I'm
We
just
have
telling
now
about the core team.
increasing.
What had happened when we were talking about the possibility framework, the actual wonderful implementation is being seen in their meetings. So I would really like to share their possibility framework with entire team, the way they had worked on that. So a big congratulations for them, like implementing and taking it further.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
they have followed each and every step of it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
So much, ma'am. I'm sharing a feedback form in the chat box. Please, everyone, fill the feedback form. And then I guess we can end the session.